Hello and welcome to my masterclass at the One Sanctuary. And this will be a really interesting masterclass about karmic burdens and backpacks. I'm really pleased to talk about this topic, and I will tell you in a minute why I have a personal experience with that, and yeah, and I want to share that with you. And I'm Katrin Lambert, one of the master teachers of the One Sanctuary, and I have a problem with my connection here. Okay, I will try to figure out the technical stuff. Maybe I should just remove my earphones and hope that the connection will be good enough for this live. Okay, so I hope my Wi-Fi connection is good enough. So once again, I'm Katrin Lambert, one of the master teachers of the One Sanctuary, and I'm pleased to talk about one of my favorite topics that is a big part of my transformational work I'm doing, and it's about karma. Karma is a bitch. Yes, it is. And there's a lot of karma we carry from our ancestors, and not only from our own lives we have spent here or in another place somewhere in the universe, because time and space don't exist. Everything happens at the same time, as quantum physicists teach us, and it is really interesting to dive into this specific topic. And I want to tell you the story, why it is so important for me, especially because it was the initial thing that brought me to the method I'm using right now. This is the experience to deal with my karmic burdens brought me on the path that I'm walking now. And to tell it in a nutshell, I was suffering, that's many years ago, I was suffering of extreme lack of energy, and there was no reason we could find. I was well nutritioned and I had enough sleep, and I had no particular special problems going on in my life. It was all quite normal. And a friend of mine who had already made some experiences with, I have to shift this over here, with the new homeopathy, told me, come on, call my teacher, and she's very experienced. I'm sure she can help you, and invest a little money in clearing this space. And so I did. I thought, okay, I'll do that, because I don't want to suffer this fatigue anymore. And what she found as the core root cause for my problem was an ancestral backpack from one of my grandmothers. And it had to do with war, with guilt, with very heavy topics. And this karma I had taken over. It was kind of superimposed on me for whatever reason, obviously because I could carry it. And so in the minute my teacher told me that this was the root cause, and I was carrying this karmic backpack, I immediately knew what it was all about. All the family stories fell into place like the last piece of the puzzle. It was amazing. And so we went into forgiveness work, and in a great transformational work of releasing this energy. She uses the same method like I do. I work with a tensor and test for root causes. And after this transformational work, it was done. It was gone. It was just gone. And we did a little bit more with my space. So there was some electro smog, and we put around some plants behind my computer and a little other stuff. And the problem was solved and never occurred again. And that's when I thought, this is so cool. I need to learn this. And I embarked on the journey, and fate has put me on this track, and resistance wasn't possible. And so I started with the training myself. And today I'm working with other people with these karmic issues. And there's a lot of different things to karma. I don't know if you who are watching have special experience with such kinds of backpacks and burdens from their ancestors. But if we look into past generations, it's not very long ago that our parents and grandparents experienced war and have a lot of trauma stored there. And the men suffered as well as the women suffered greatly. And that also influenced the kind of education and upbringing they gave to their own children. And so I will just throw some words into the room where you might resonate. And oh, there's some lovely people I know. Hi, so great that you are here. This is wonderful. And for example, just to read a few words about karmic implants or burdens that we could have experienced ourselves or inherited from our ancestors, could be like bans or vows or oaths or contracts or vows of poverty or vows of service, subserviency, or revenge or guilt, like I had, or like magic and other yucky stuff, or being in or being cursed. This, you know, all these old stories that people say they don't exist. Well, they do, but there's something we can do about it. And that's what I want to suggest, that we can do a lot about this, to release this karma, to release those burdens, whether we have experienced it in our own incarnations or inherited by our ancestors. And if we work on that and release it for ourselves, we release it for our children as well, and for all the generations to come. And this is so important because I live in Germany here. We have a lot of grief, guilt, and other frequencies deeply embedded in the people. And in other parts of the world, there are other energies that are deeply yeah, how can you say, knit in or woven in people's lives and in their societies. And there we would come to the huge field of thought fields and consciousness fields, but I'll do that at another time. So today we will stick to ancestors and karmic burdens. So I discern between own karma and inherited or adopted or shared or superimposed karma from others. And in my work, I strive to find exactly what it is. So that's why I have a lot of lists I can show you. I have a lot of lists with a lot of words to find out what it is particularly. Oh, I have a telephone going on here. Wait a second. So it will stop. And to find out where exactly it is, or if it is even somewhere in this well-known triangle of perpetrator, victim, savior, if it's a kind of an energy of this victim triangle that is woven into the own karma or the own experience that needs to be released and pacified is really important. And another aspect to this is to have a look on the whole ancestral field. So if you know this image of the tree, you know, you have your ancestors, like the roots, and you yourself are one part of the next generations, and to pacify all this energy from the ancestors and is something that is very, very valuable and feels really good. So it is something I really recommend to every one of my clients to have a look there. If there is a special topic or if there are single ancestors that may be guided into source, into the light, and that are still earthbound, or they have something that holds them here to release them and help them to be in peace and have the ability to reincarnate if they wish so. And also we can release the energies of those family stories that we have been told over and over again, maybe because somebody is saying, oh, in this part of the family, all the men grew up without a father. Okay, there's a pattern to see there. Or we have the topic of alcoholism in this part of the family tree. And what I do is I like to have a look there. Where is it anchored? Where's the origin? Where can we have a look to pacify this, to release the energy for the best of all? And of course, I always ask. I do nothing without permission, but it is a very valuable thing, and it feels very good and very light and free when this is done. And so I can recommend it, obviously. And I would love to offer you a transformation, a group transformation for this space and all the people that are watching and all the people who will watch it later at some point. And just invite you to go into this energy and accept what is matching to your own story. Drink some water and then we'll get started. And I want to invite you to sit comfortably and take a few deep breaths and relax your shoulders and your neck and your jaw, and arrive fully in your body, because that makes it easier to accept the frequency that I'm bringing to this room now. And I will read it because obviously I'm German, and I cannot translate simultaneously. So I did that before, and I will read it for you. And yeah, breathe yourself, breathe deeply. Feel the circulation of your blood and feel the air in your lungs. And feel the prana, the chi in your body. And feel the pulsation going through your body. Anchor your feet on the ground, connect with earth. Open up your channels to source, to the universe, to the energy, the ether that is all around us and in us. And seize your very own transformational power that you have on every temporal and spatial level of your being. And if you want to close your eyes, you can feel the breath and feel where the breath does not want to flow, and consciously try to penetrate that area with your breath. And now go into your heart with your attention. Go into your heart space, and if you want to, put your hand on your heart and connect with the original light source, the source of all being, which is pure consciousness, pure love, and pure creative power. And we ask the support of the primordial source. Now, for the loosening, the dissolution, and the transmutation of all ancestral burdens and backpacks, all karmic programs, plans, codings, conditionings, that have anchored in our body and in our mental body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, and our causal body, our multidimensional being in all space-times and time-spaces, in all universes and dimensions, in all densities, octaves, fractals, and frequencies where we exist, and where these frequencies of burden and backpacks and plans and codings might be anchored or interconnected, woven in, or originate. And if you want to transmute and dissolve and release all this, you might give for yourself your consent, and give your consent and say, yes, please, and so it is. And I see I have a very weak connection with the Wi-Fi, but that happens with high frequencies. So no, don't you worry. And we may now be and stay liberated of all ancestral karmic imprints and contracts, and curses or implications, oaths, bans, and spells. Now and forever, we are free of this, liberated with immediate effect, completely and sustainably, including all security copies and info-energetic anchors and reinstallment programs, and all consequences and the consequences of the consequences and ever so on, which have ever arisen from those karmic things in space and time. And we are free of this. You can give your consent and say, yes, please, and so it is. And all identifications that you may carry in relation to those ancestral burdens and programs and own karmic experiences and burdens are now and with immediate effect completely dissolved, deprogrammed, uninstalled, transmuted in the source of primal light. And we ask for you all who want to go deeper and go into own inner processes and inner work for the complete release and opening of your healing capacity and your healing ability and your healing acceptance. Yes, please, and so it is. And we now ask to take all energies that are not of our own core or essence and that don't belong to us in our multidimensional being and our source connection and everything that has been loosened and dissolved now, to take all this from us, release it into the source of all being and fill us up with the golden healing light from the source of all being, from the source of pure love, so that no empty space in our systems can remain. It is all being filled up with pure love, pure consciousness, pure creativity. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't know if any one of you that is watching here live has a specific question, so I'm happy to answer that. And want to encourage you to dive in. Don't be afraid. We are never helpless. We are always supported. And we can always go into our own creative power, because that's what we are. We are pure love. We are pure power. And we may take over our sovereignty and our self-efficacy and take over the responsibility for our own experience, our own life, and also for our children, to release everything that we can do, possibly, to solve what has been given to us from our ancestors, and also, and this is often a lot of times, to go into forgiveness work, especially when it's coming to the ancestors and the generations we personally know, like our parents, our grandparents, and whatever they have put on us, and to see if we can release this energy by forgiving. And sometimes this is really, really hard, and it takes really deep work. Sometimes it's a bit easier. And one of the things we definitely need to do is forgive ourselves. This is very healing and very useful to forgive ourselves that we have allowed to take over these burdens and backpacks, and that we have carried for them for such a long time. And yeah, forgiveness is a very complex thing. We could do a whole evening only about this topic, but it is very helpful because it's not about releasing somebody else out of his or her responsibility. It's about loosening the energies that bind us and to be able to go on and be free. And this is what it's all about. And I want to invite you to dive deep into the topic of forgiveness and releasing ancestral stuff, own karma, and also have a deep look at when, for example, if you have no big issue with your ancestors, you had a nice childhood, you know your themes with your parents, but it's not really dramatic, and the reason or the root cause for your dis-ease or challenge that you're facing is not to be seen in your family, but maybe in your own karma that you have caused through space and time. And we all have done that out of being unconscious, because when you're conscious and living very responsibly, you don't how do you say, my English is leaving me, I'm really sorry. You're not creating karma. If you're always in that creator state of mind and very conscious of what you are doing, what is done with you and around you, and looking from it from the perspective of the director and not from the perspective of the actor, then you don't create karma. But if you're unconscious and you're doing something that is not conscious, e.g. bad, then it can fall back. And to see and to, if you've gone some steps, if you walked some steps on the path of healing and self-recognition and inner work, then you can realize that you might have collected some karmic burdens yourself in space and time. For example, like if you have been in a position where you were not always the nicest person, and you find out that this could have been the case, to really, once again, go into forgiveness work and to accept your responsibility and then release it with the help of the source of all being, which is the best thing you can do to bring something into balance and to end the game of duality. And so if your soul has been striving into something less positive in the past, and now you're striving only into the light, that is always out of balance. Try to be in total balance in what you do and what you strive for, because that is the healthiest thing to do. And so you can avoid spiritual bypassing on just, I'm all love and light. It's not that easy, as you probably know by now, because it's it's deep work to really look at what has been going on in your life, in your incarnations, in your ancestral field, and take over the responsibility to release it for the best of all concerned. And I really invite you to go on that path. And if you want to know more about that, then you are invited to join us in the One Sanctuary, not only on our free offerings, which we do every now and then, on my offerings that you can find on my website, www.quantum-transformation.com, to book sessions with me, but also in our retreat time in November on Barbados. So it will be a lot of wellness and well-being and beauty and relaxation and bliss, with a little bit of deep work as well. So you're invited to join and get in touch with us, get in touch via this Instagram site or via our website or directly with me or the other guides, and hope to see you in my future and very soon. Bye-bye for now, and I will have a short look if somebody had something special, a question. No, okay. So I will close for now, and you can repeat this whenever you want because it's now recorded. And bye-bye and have a great day.